this is Jenny from Homestead Corner. Today I thought we'd go over some of the items that we should be stocking right now for our pantries. So I was thinking a little while ago about all the things that ran out when the pandemic hit, and all the panic buying and everything, and things that we were not able to get. And we need to focus on those items right now before any shortages happen. If there are food shortages, you want to make sure you have what you need in the house. And also any interruptions in delivery or things like that. Before fall gets here, you definitely want to make sure that you are stocked up. So right now I've got a few things that I think are important that we should be stocking up on, and most all of these things, actually every one of these things, I had a very hard time to find, or I still cannot find some of them. We still don't have a few things in our stores. So I'm going to jump right in and we'll go over some of these things so you can have a good list. And obviously, if you are not going to eat this stuff or use this stuff, if you don't already eat it or you don't know that you'll like it, try it. Or just, if you know you don't like it, don't buy it. Don't stock up on a bunch of stuff you don't need. That's just wasteful. And there's no sense to be wasteful. Only buy things you know you like. And if you're not sure, buy one, just buy one, try it. And then next time, then you can buy 10 if you like it. But if you don't like it and you buy 10 cans of something, then you're stuck either eating stuff you don't like or throwing it out. So, which I ain't throwing nothing out, so I be eating it. Okay, so we'll start with some of the food products that we, that ran out, and one of them was canned like tomatoes and vegetables and all that stuff. Our shelves were wiped out. There was nothing. I don't buy a lot of canned vegetables because I can my own, but like we do buy some tomato products because I cannot grow enough tomatoes to last me all year long. So, but canned tomatoes, tomato paste, diced tomatoes, all of it. I mean, I went in, there was nothing. So you want to stock up on tomato products that you use, and canned vegetables and things like that. That's a big one. And also canned meats. Canned meats are another one. We don't buy a lot of canned meats. I am not even sure where this can came from because I can my own chicken and I really like it that way. But we can a lot of meats here on our homestead, so having canned meats are super important. You want to have stuff with your proteins in it. You want to make sure you have plenty on stock. If the grid goes down and the stores are wiped out, then your freezers, you're bumming. You got to cook all that food off or whatever's in the freezer. You have to plan for more than one emergency. Absolutely. It's many different scenarios can happen, and you want to be as prepared as you can be for all of those scenarios. Canned meats, tuna fish, chicken. You can get roast beef. You can get all kinds of canned meats, ham, Spam, all kinds of stuff. You can can your own meats, and it's really easy to can meats. So if you don't have any canned meats at the store that you find that you really like, then you could definitely try canning some of your own stuff to see if you like that. Or drying it, jerkies, things like that. Having those proteins available. Peanut butter is another one. You want to have plenty of peanut butter because it's got lots of protein in it, if you can eat peanut butter. I know not everybody can. That's another really important one. And another thing that was completely wiped out and was out for, oh my goodness, over a month, it's back in stock now, is sweetened condensed milk, canned milk, things like that. They were gone. There was nothing. Dried milk, dried low-fat milk or regular fat milk, whatever your store has, these are great. You can make cheese with these. You can do all kinds of stuff with this. There's tons and tons of stuff you could do with this dried milk. It's great for cereal, for drinking, for cooking, for all kinds of stuff. It's not quite as tasty as the regular milk, but you know, for drinking, but it's milk. So, and it's great. This is great for cooking and stuff anyway, and it's way cheaper than buying gallons of milk, and it's not going to go bad. This stuff stored properly will last and last and last. All right. But instant potatoes. Potatoes are a great filler for your meals to put on the side when things are short. Potatoes and rice are two wonderful things to beef up your meals, to get your bellies full. Both of these were wiped out. Having extra stock of rice and potatoes, definitely you want to have plenty of these on hand, because when you have to start rationing the meat and things like that, you can fill in a little bit with potatoes. You can stretch your meat and stretch your vegetables, and you know, we eat small portions of meat and large portions of vegetables. That's just how we eat. But filling in with potatoes helps when there's not quite enough. Another thing that got wiped out was flour. Oh my goodness. Flour was impossible to get. Nobody had it. It was gone. You want to make sure you have plenty of flour in stock. And you can store flour. There are a few different ways you can do it to store it so it will last for a very long time. And also along with that flour was yeast. Yeast was another thing. It's still hit or miss on the yeast. They get it in, it gets wiped right back out. So yeast is another thing. Look for it, get it in there. If you got to make your own bread with flour and yeast, at least you'll be able to do that. The other thing that I noticed, and I know a lot of different areas had different things that got wiped out, but oats was one that was here. And we use a lot of oats. We love granola, we love oatmeal. We love oats, and I couldn't get them. Thankfully, I had plenty in stock, but there was none. And it was well over a month or 2 months before I saw them again in the store. So oats are another one. We should be stocking up on stuff like that. That's a great hearty food and good for you to eat. Salt. Salt. People were buying salt left and right. You can cure meat with it. You need it in your diet. You have to have salt in your diet. And people, you should plan like 5 pounds of salt per person per year. That sounds like a ridiculous amount of salt to me, but between cooking and some people like to add a little bit to the top of their food, you really do go through quite a bit of salt in a year. So 5 pounds per person is quite a lot of salt, but I'm telling you, if you're cooking every meal at home, you'll see it dwindle down really fast. We go through quite a bit of salt, and I'm not even really a salt fan. But we use it in cooking. It helps enhance the flavors, all that stuff, and your body needs it. So, and all different kinds of salts too. I buy pink Himalayan salt, I buy sea salt, we have canning salt, you can get kosher salt, all different kinds of salt. So that way you're covered, you got what you need, and if you have it in stock, you don't have to worry about it. All right, and I think that covers the food part that we were completely wiped out of at our stores. So the next thing was like household stuff and hygiene stuff. Paper towels. Oh my God, I still struggle to find paper towels. I can't believe it. We had plenty in the house, but because normally I would buy I was buying all of my paper products off Amazon because it was a really good deal, and I would buy 5 or 6 packs at a time, and it was no big deal. So we had tons of it in the house, and it wasn't a problem when it got wiped out. But then as we started dwindling down, I don't want to run out. So I'm like, oh my God. And still, once in a while, it's hit or miss in the store if I can get the paper towels I like or not. The really cheap ones will do the trick, but I'll use a dish towel before I do that. So, you know, paper towels are not absolutely a necessity, but I like them and we use them a lot. And another thing was tissues. These got wiped out for a few weeks, and they came back in stock, but they were limited to 1 box per person for quite a long time. And so tissues are another thing. If you use tissues, and if you can't get toilet paper, tissues work perfect. They're wonderful. Double them up. That's one thing that is definitely a must in the stockpile is tissues. And the infamous toilet paper. You gotta have it. Well, you don't have to have it, but I like it. I really like it. And the thought of going without it, I did not like that thought. So thankfully I had plenty in the house and I didn't have to worry. And we're continuing to keep our stock up and make sure that if anything happens, we don't have to worry about that again. All right, the next thing was, and I still can't get these, Clorox wipes, Lysol wipes, disinfectant wipes. These are not a must. Your regular cleaner is great. You should be stocking up on that as well. Cleaners were gone for a while, but the wipes are still gone. They come in, they're gone. It's like lightning. If you hit it right, you might see 1 case of them on the shelf, and you know everybody's grabbing it once. And if you take more than one, you're getting the look. And another thing is water. Water was limited to 1 case per person. That's all you could get. It was a family of 6. If you can only get 1 case of water, you're in big trouble. You need to make sure you have plenty of stock of water. It's cheap enough. Just grab it, throw it in wherever, store it in a cool, dark place. It's gonna last for quite a few years. So water is a must. You need lots and lots and lots of water. 1 gallon per day per person. So if you have, you know, just for yourself, you need 30 gallons for a month. So you're gonna need a lot. Another thing that was wiped out right away and took a while to come back in stock was hand soaps. Hand soaps were a big thing. There was plenty of shampoos and conditioners and the body wash, but hand soaps were like, you couldn't get a bar of soap, you couldn't get hand soaps forever. When it came back in stock, you could only get 1, and you could only get whatever brand there was. If you have a favorite brand, stock up that. Stock it right to the roof. Get as much as you can. Can't have too much soap. Okay, and last but not least, alcohol and peroxide. These 2 items are must for your first aid. You gotta have these in stock. If anything happens, these are so important to clean wounds, anything like that. Alcohol is still not in stock in our area. You can't buy bottles of alcohol. Peroxide, the only place I could find peroxide was the Dollar Tree, and these little tiny bottles. I love how handy this is because it's a spray bottle, but this is a little tiny bottle for $1 when I normally buy big huge bottles. Those 2 items, if you can find alcohol, stock up on it. It's inexpensive. It's another one of those things, but it's really important to have it in the house. It's great for tons of stuff, not just wounds. Peroxide, also really important to have in the house. And you want to have plenty of it on hand. And like, I mean, we're going on what, 5 months of this pandemic, and still you cannot buy a bottle of alcohol. I can't find any. And peroxide is super limited. Our grocery store didn't have it. Our Walmart doesn't have any. It's just, there's none. If you can find alcohol prep pads, that will do the trick also. Whatever you can find. One of my friends mentioned that to me the other day, and alcohol prep pads absolutely will do the job. So if you can find those, if you can't get bottles, those are definitely another way to go. But these are, oh, and wipes. Wipes are another thing. I almost forgot these babies. We love having these around the house. If you have a baby, you learn quickly that these are handy for all kinds of stuff. They're great to clean up your hands quick. They're great for all kinds of stuff. If the water's out, wipes will give you a little hose bath. But you gotta do what you gotta do. In desperate times, you do desperate things. Wipes can be absolutely wonderful. So those are great to have on hand also, and grab them while they're in stock. Those went completely out as well. People were just buying everything. You couldn't get nothing. It was nuts, you know. But that is it. I hope you all are stocking up, because we have possible food shortages coming. We have, you know, fall is coming. Not only do we have to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic, we also have to deal with the flu. More people have died from the flu in our state than COVID-19. Our numbers are really low here in Maine, so we haven't had a lot of deaths, and quite a few people have been sick, but really not a lot. It's not real prevalent here, but we've had all the lockdowns and all the crazy buying and all that stuff. We get all that too. So, but it's been pretty easy on us, this COVID-19. I mean, the flu is definitely it's something to be reckoned with up here. Our median age in Maine is a lot higher than most other states, a lot of older people here. So it can be rough with that. But that's it. I hope you're stocking up. I hope you can find all of these things. And if you have tips for other things that went out in your area that might be good for someone to stock up, please leave them in the comments down below. I love everybody sharing their ideas and tips and tricks, because this is all about community. And if we all have each other to lead on and get ideas from and bounce ideas off of, it helps everybody. So leave any tips and tricks you have in the comments, and you know, any items that you didn't see here that your area went out of. I would love to know what you were missing in your area that sold right out like crazy. So and that's it for this video. Stock up, be safe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.